We are here talking MVP. He's the M, Bill Landis. I'm the V, Doug Maurice. He's the P, Ari Wasserman. Who are the MVPs of Ohio State's 4-0 start to the season, #1 team in the country? We want your picks as well. Ari Wasserman, who is Ohio State's MVP as the Buckeyes get ready for Big Ten play?
Michael Thomas. And you want to know something? I did not know he did not like being compared to Keyshawn Johnson until today.
How did you find that out?
I was just having a discussion with some other reporters, and it came up. And I'm sorry, Mike, if you're watching this. I did not know you liked being your own man. I would have wanted to be compared to a Pro Bowl wide receiver. Okay, I don't want to get too off the point, but the reason why is because I think he's made some very big catches in games where offensive production has been kind of down. Like the NFL-type catch, the Keyshawn Johnson-type catch. Just kidding. He made in the Northern Illinois game, and that was one of the scores in a game where offense wasn't pretty. And then he had a touchdown catch this past weekend against Western Michigan. I just think that of all the offensive players that Ohio State has on their team, and there's a lot of talented ones, and maybe we'll get to a few, maybe we won't, I think that Michael Thomas has made big plays in bad games and is an NFL-type player. So right now I think he's been the biggest, most important piece of this team right now.
I'm going to give you some numbers. 16 catches leads the Buckeyes. 238 receiving yards leads the Buckeyes. 3 touchdown catches. He's the only guy with more than 1. He's their best receiver. Bill Landis, Ohio State's MVP.
I'm going with Curtis Samuel, who was Ohio State's leading receiver before this past week against Western Michigan. Michael Thomas had a few big grabs and passed Curtis Samuel, but I'm picking him as the MVP because in my opinion anyway, aside from the crazy spin move that Braxton Miller had and the one well-blocked run they had against Western Michigan when Ezekiel Elliott ran for 80 yards, Curtis Samuel has shown that he can be a big play guy so far. He had 2 40-yard plays last week. He's averaging 15 yards per touch. I think he's got 20 touches, averaging 15 yards. Even if you take away the big plays, he's still got 18 touches for 200 and something yards. I think he's been a big play guy in this search for big play guys that they've had over the last 3 weeks, so I think he's the MVP right now.
Curtis Samuel has 20 touches, as you said. Ezekiel Elliott has 85 touches. You're good with Curtis Samuel ahead of Ezekiel Elliott?
Yeah, I mean, Ezekiel Elliott's played really well. Like, I'm not going to say he's played poorly, and he's been the victim of some bad blocking on the perimeter and up front too. We've talked about that. I don't know if he's the reason Ohio State has won games the last 3 weeks. He's played well.
Do you think Curtis Samuel is? I
think he's the reason they won last week. He scored. One of the reasons they won last week. They played much better against not so great team, but I thought he was their best player last week.
If you took Ezekiel Elliott off this team, or you took Curtis Samuel off the team, which would be more detrimental to Ohio State, to lose Ezekiel Elliott or to lose Curtis Samuel?
Of course it'd be Elliott.
Okay. My MVP pick is Darren Lee, and I'm basing my pick based in part on that question because Darren Lee's stats are he's 7th on the team in tackles. He has 15 tackles, which is Raekwon McMillan and Joshua Perry, the other 2 linebackers, have 40 and 38. But when Darren Lee got hurt and was carted off the field against Western Michigan, I sort of was like, oh, I'm making more weird noises again. I thought, wow, that would be a big loss to this team. And it's not statistical as much as impactful. And he did have an interception return for a touchdown that really did win the game against Northern Illinois. Chris Carter in the house. What's up, Chris Carter? How you doing, man? Come see us in the video. This is Chris Carter, former JFK star, former Ohio State star. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. How are you? How are you guys today?
We're doing great. What are you doing now, man?
Well, I'm still in school. I graduated in May. I'll be graduating with my communications degree and hopefully going into pharmaceutical sales.
Pharmaceutical sales? You could come join us, man. You got a communications degree.
I mean, I could. Are you offering a job there?
You could have his. You could have his job. You're out. Chris Carter is in.
Oh yeah, most definitely, I'm in.
All right, we're gonna start bringing Chris Carter to the people at cleveland.com. It's good to see you, man.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Look at this. He's dropping a card on us.
Yep, dropping cards.
I like how you operate, man.
Let me see if I still have some.
It's all right.
Well, I'm working for the Red Cross now, and I have a bunch of cards through them. Oh, here we go.
Look at that. That's Chris Carter.
Thanks, Chris.
First in your hearts. Chris Carter, man. Good luck, man. How about that? Christopher B. Carter Jr. Look at that.
I'm going to go ahead and rip it. No, I'm just kidding.
I love that guy.
Yeah. He said he was going to take my spot. I can't have that.
Looking over your shoulder. Darren Lee, the MVP. Chris Carter's the real MVP. Darren Lee, the MVP in my opinion. Huge plays. a kind of guy you have to game plan for as an offense, I think. If you take Darren Lee away, I think this would be a different team. So that's why he gets my vote, even though the stats may not show it. Tell the people who you were going to pick originally.
Before you yelled?
Yeah.
Garyon Conley.
And what was going to be your rationale for Garyon Conley as the MVP of this team?
Because Ohio State had a question mark, a very big question mark, one of the only question marks that this team was facing coming into the year at cornerback opposite Eli Apple, and I thought he's played very well. He had a big interception in the Hawaii game, I think it was, early on to shift the momentum. And I think anytime there's a gaping hole or there's a hole somewhere and somebody fills it well, that's a very valuable thing to any complete defense or team. So I know that he probably, when you convince me that Ohio State's not undefeated because of Garyon Conley, that was a very good point. But I thought he has played a role, and maybe the reason why there isn't a hole in the defense is because Garyon's played well.
And you're good with Curtis Samuel.
Here's the thing, like, can we all say Ezekiel Elliott? Like, and
No, we could.
Yeah,
well, yeah.
And the name, this guy, like, told me that being weird sometimes is a good thing, so I'm picking Curtis Samuel.
I deny saying that. For Bill Landis, for Ari Wasserman, and for our new fellow future cleveland.com employee, Chris Carter, the former Buckeye, I'm Doug Maurice. Thanks for watching at cleveland.com.